Solarador Special December Wind River. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another English episode of the Solarador podcast. We will conclude this 2020 year on the last day of 2020 with our last review for the movie Wind River that was recommended by Karen last week. So, Karen, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm good. Had a busy week again, but should
Yeah,
be an interesting review. This one of a movie
yeah,
I think we both like very much.
yes. I think it's also an important movie, so I'm happy to talk about it.
Yeah. Just to put the audience in context, the movie was written by Taylor Sheridan, who also wrote Sicario and Hell or High Water before, and he directed Wind River. It was his directorial debut, and he did a really good job. I
Yeah,
don't
what a
think there's
strong start.
yeah I don't think there's anything wrong with the directing of this movie,
No,
and
me neither.
just to put like I said, just to put the audience in context, it's part of a trilogy, but like a thematic trilogy, if you will, and all the movies they tackle problems in our society right now. Like Sicario is about drug cartels and the war on drugs and how it affects the people around it. Hello High Water is how the big companies just take over the little people, and Wind River is all the Native Americans are forgotten in their land, in the reservation they are. So I don't know which movie I like the most for those three. I don't know about you. You have a
I don't know.
favorite or?
I don't know. It's hard. I think it might be Wind River, but I really like Hell or High Water too.
Yeah, I like all three. Uh, I
Yeah,
think there's something different to get in all three of them. I think the better directed one is Sicario, and not
yeah,
just
of course.
because of Denis Villeneuve, but just because of the color themes in the
Hmm.
movies and the transparency theme too going on over there.
Yeah.
And I think the better acted one might be Hell or High Water,
Yes, I have
and I
to agree
think the
with that.
more humane one is Wind River. So,
Yeah,
but
because of the thematic.
yeah, but I think they're all really good films, and I cannot like just take one apart and say that's my favorite. It depends on how I feel, I guess. But I've
Yeah,
seen Wind
exactly.
River the most out of the three of them.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a good like snow movie, like the thematic we have for these episodes, which is like movies in the dead of the winter. And this one is actually a pretty good one and solid for this.
Yeah, really. But I think Hell or High Water 2 is really good and set in the desert, so
Hmm.
it's like the opposite of Wind River.
Yeah,
But maybe the one I like the least might be Sicario. It's really good, but I find myself not wanting to rewatch it as much as Hell or High Water or Wind River.
me neither. And I think that's because of the thematic. It's not something that really gets me. I think I can relate more to the other two because,
Yeah,
like you said, they're more like humane. And in Hell or High Water, you have like the brothers and their story with their family farm. It's something that is you can actually more reach onto that.
yeah, and the sheriff too, played
Yeah,
by Jeff Bridges, and the characters are more likable in Wind River and in Hell or High Water than in Sicario.
yeah, exactly. So I think I like those more because of
Yeah,
this.
yeah, me
But
too.
I mean, I love Denis Villeneuve. Everything he does is so good.
Yeah, yeah,
But like,
obviously, and
I'm gonna watch like Blade Runner before watching Sicario.
yeah, me too. I don't know why. And Sicario is the one that has the most success, and
Yeah,
they even made a sequel of it. I haven't seen it. I'm not
me
really
neither.
interested in it. I think the movie works well as a standalone film, so I find myself not wanting to go watch the sequel. I think it's pretty much useless to me to see it. I don't know why. I don't even know why it exists. Probably because money. But
Yeah, exactly.
anyways, do you want to jump in the review for the film?
Yeah, sure.
So, Wind River, the movie is set around the character of Corby Lambert, played by Jeremy Renner. He's a wildlife officer who finds the body of an 18-year-old woman on an Indian reservation in snowy Wyoming. When the autopsy reveals that she was raped, and FBI agent Jane Banner, played by Elizabeth Olsen, arrives to investigate, and she teams up with Lambert as a guide. So, yeah, it's a really powerful film. Uh,
Yeah.
the direction of the movie helps a lot too to understand the reality of the people on the reservation. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of shots that just large shots that show you like the mountain and the forest, and you see it's really vast. There's a lot of wildlife, but there's not a lot of people, right? So
Yeah,
you
exactly.
always get that loneliness in the movie, and I think it reinforces the message that the people on the reservation, they're alone and they don't have any help.
No, exactly. And it feels like it's in a really remote location. Like, like the government, they want to hide it. They want to hide them. Like
Yeah.
shove them like in the middle of nowhere and kind of not look at them, which is also kind of part of the message that we do not think about how they're treated and how it
Yeah.
affects them and their
It's
life.
yeah, it's like in Quebec too. I mean, if you go up
Hmm.
north in Quebec, there's a lot of native tribes there, and they're just like shoved up in snow and just forget about them. So
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like don't think about them, don't look at them. If I'm ignoring it, the problem will go away.
yeah,
So yeah, I think like you said, those plans with like the mountains and the snows show this isolation and also like the loneliness of the people there.
and the silence too. They talk about it,
Yeah.
the silence a lot in the film, how it affects the people there, and how it drives mad the people who commit the crime too. And they
Hmm.
say it's like there's nothing to do here. It's just silence and wildlife and forest and snow, and there's nothing to do here. It drives them mad.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and the natives are there for a century, and
Hmm.
they've adapted kind of in their way, but yeah, they're isolated, they're in the snow, they're in the mountains, and nobody wants anything to do with them. It's really sad. And you see Elizabeth Olsen, her character Jane Banner, I think she's well fleshed out. Like she comes here and she's all
Hmm.
naive, and she thinks it's gonna be settled and it's just like any other investigation, but then she realized that she doesn't have any help, she won't have any help, and that those people, they never have. So
No, exactly.
I
And
like her performances, her performance a lot.
yeah, me too. I think she's just the strongest in this movie, but I think Renner is also like used appropriately.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a really good role for him,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah,
yeah, me too. It's very suited for him.
yeah, because he has like a sensibility to him
Hmm.
of the people and the wildlife around him, and he's really well suited for him, like you said. And he doesn't overact too. It's really understated
Yeah,
his performance, and it's great. He also
it's
has a backstory with his daughter too that was killed, and
yeah, and it's worked really really well into the story. That it's
yeah,
not overly like melodramatic or exposed. It's just they tell you the story at the same time, and I think it just works.
yeah, it's just there. It's just put some to flesh out the character, but there's not like a big story arc with this. It's just him living with this.
Yeah, exactly, and it helps with his motivation also to solve this crime.
So yeah. Also, what you like the most about the film?
I don't know. It's hard. I think the story and the message is very powerful, but I like how it's told. Like the tone of the movie.
Yeah, me too a lot.
The kind of way you go into the investigation with them and kind of trying to put all the pieces together until the action scenes arrive. Um, it's so good. I love the tone.
Yeah, me too. And even the action scenes, they're not over the top, right? They're all
No,
realistic. I really like that. But to me, I think the ending
yeah,
is so satisfying of this film. The way it wraps every character's arc,
yes,
from what happens to the guy who commits the crime, well, most of it anyway,
yeah,
and to Elizabeth Olsen's character, and also
hmm,
Martin, the father of the girl who was killed.
yeah,
I think it's so well rounded up. I mean,
yes.
it's one of the better ending I've seen in the last 10 years. I think because it's not
It's very
overdone.
satisfying. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really satisfying. It's not overdone, and you know, you kind of get closure on everything, but at the same time you don't,
no, exactly.
because like you get closure on the investigation and the characters, but it's gonna happen again,
Yes,
and it's nothing you can do about it.
no, exactly, and it's kind of like life. You kind of see this. this chapter in the life of these characters, but it's not over. As some, you watch some movie sometimes and you're like, oh, okay, this story is done, but this story isn't done. This story happens all the time, and
Yeah,
we need to shed light on this situation.
yeah, and it's written at the end of the film too.
Hmm.
Like thousands of people go missing on those reservations every year, and
And no
they're
one's trying to find them.
yeah, no one's trying to find them. Nobody gives a shit, and that that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like we had that same thing in Canada recently, and
Hmm.
they opened like the natives investigation on the
Yeah.
women who disappeared, on all the native women who disappeared, and we haven't heard about it that much ever since.
No. No.
So I think it at first it looked like a good idea, but then it just looks like something that has been done just to calm down the people and then forget about it, like
Yeah.
everything, like everything with the natives, right? So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I think it's a
so
very
yeah,
important movie, and you don't see, these teams, all the other people or the native people are treated. You never hear about it.
no, you don't.
The preservation of their culture as well.
Yeah, yeah. They're really just go on their reservations, see how it's going there, and it's really sad.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is why I think it's an important movie, and that more people should see it. And it's also a great movie. Like even if you don't care about the themes or whatever, the story is good. It's like an investigation. You
Yeah,
want to know what happened. It's a crime story. So I think there's a bit for everyone. Even if you think this subject might not interest you, the movie is still good.
yeah. It is, and it's really good investigation movie. And there's not actually at all any kind of like a Deus ex machina in the movie where like there's a
No,
something just pop out and you just oh yeah, it's all. It just like it naturally flows.
yeah, and there's no like MacGuffin or whatever. Oh, we have to do this or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just
no,
like
no.
there's a crime, let's investigate it, and it's a good investigation story.
Yeah, it really is. So to me, I thought about negatives of the film. I can't really think about one.
Me neither, actually. I can pinpoint anything that really bothered me.
So no, and the movie's not that long either. It's like 1 hour and 40 minutes, and it flows super well. It went by like it was 30 minutes, but it was an hour and 40. So
Yeah, I
pacing is
completely agree.
good, direction is good, cinematography is awesome too.
Hmm.
Just the shots we talked about of the mountain, of the snow, of the the wildlife there. It's all around is really great. You really
Yeah,
feel in Wyoming in this reservation, and I don't have
and the
anything.
cold.
Yeah, all the performances are well. Gil Birmingham, who plays Martin, the father of the daughter is the father
Hmm.
of the girl who's killed. He's really good, and he was in Hell or High Water too. He was a sheriff with
Oh yeah, that's true.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges. He's a really great actor too. I thought he did a really good job. So yeah, no,
Yes.
performances all great. Um, I don't have anything bad to say against this film.
No, me neither. When we have characters interaction and stuff like that, there's always film is pretty basic, but I mean it really works for this story because it's very grounding.
Yeah.
So
Uh, well, it's a basic story, right?
yeah,
And the people in the reservation, everything they have is basic. So I mean,
yeah. No,
it
I
was
think it works.
appropriate. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I think
works
it
well.
works.
It's not like a masterpiece or anything, but it is a really, really goddamn good movie.
Yeah, it's a darn good movie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say personally, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't. I've seen it like 6 or 7 times now, and every time I just enjoy it even more. So
it's good. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna go with 9, but I might change
yeah,
that.
I thought about giving that 9.5 because like 10 is like masterpiece stuff like Lady on
Yeah,
Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which I think is a superior film like in the craft of the movie, but
yeah, me too. But
uh, I don't know. It just has a special place for me, so I'm gonna go with 10
yeah,
out of 10 for
yeah,
this
that's
one.
perfect.
Like
But yeah,
Sicario,
no,
I'd give a 9 or 8.5, but this one it's a 10. So for January, I thought about doing some other special episodes.
yeah,
Maybe like bad films because January is like the cemetery of movie. uh, like movie buffs who listens to the podcast, they'll know this. Movies that come out in January usually they suck. And it's
We
like, oh, just put that after the new year, and everybody's gonna forget about it.
yeah, exactly. It's the dump. They dump like everything they're
Yeah.
ashamed of.
So I think we can find some movies that came out in January in the
Yeah,
past years, and
January
just like
releases.
maybe put a good one once in a while in there, but mostly like typical January movie reviews.
Oh yeah.
I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I think it's a very good idea.
All right, so let's find some really bad January movie and and review them, and try to find which one is gonna be the winner for this year bad January movie.
Oh boy.
Because like a good one I think about is Split. Split came out in like
Oh yeah,
mid January a couple years ago,
it's true.
or a few years ago. What was it, like 2017,
But it was
2018
good.
maybe? But it was good. It was
It was
surprisingly
very
good.
good.
And
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Oh, that damn, another movie by Shyamalan. It's come out. It's coming out in January. It's gonna suck." But it was good. So maybe we're gonna have a surprise like that this year. But usually, just don't get your hopes too high.
No. Is there a movie you wanted to propose for like the
Um,
next episode?
no, I haven't thought of a January movie that we could review.
Okay, because
Do you
I'm
have one?
looking right now. Yeah, I'm looking at like January releases 2019, 2018 and see, if whatever is like available on any of the platforms we have. And I'm seeing that last year, last January 2019, there was
Yeah.
Escape Room who came out and it just came out on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's a good one. Escape Room, right? Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks really bad.
yeah, so I think we could watch that one actually.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be bad but fun bad.
Yeah, me too.
So Escape Room, we're gonna
Can be
review
worse
this.
than Ghost of War.
Ghosts of War. Yeah, Ghosts of
Goose.
War. Avoid that like the plague.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, we can make that expression more actual. So avoid that like COVID.
No, avoid that like Ghost of War.
Yeah, Ghosts of War is. Oh my god, terrible, terrible film. But yeah, so
Okay.
thanks for being with us all
Yeah,
throughout
again.
2020. We're gonna see you again in 2021 with the French episode that will come out weekly as usual, and some more special episodes for each and every month in English, and maybe do some of our weekly episode in English. I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see
yeah,
how
we'll
popular
see.
it
Yeah,
gets. If
we'll
people
we'll
can,
adapt.
yeah, and if people can get accustomed to our accents.
Sorry.
But yeah, have a good year, and hopefully 2021 is gonna be better than 2020, and we all can go back to the theater again, watch some new release.